Happy Friday. Hope you guys are having a great start to the weekend and have some big plans for the weekend or plan to do nothing at all and just relax. So I am here and waiting on my girl, Nichia Nichelle, and we're going to talk about the finale of season 2 of And Just Like That. And it was good. It was good. It was good. Nichia, let me see if I can. It says you're unable to join, Nichia, for some reason. See if you can. Wait there. My dog. That's it. Okay, Nichia. Hey, Deb. Hey, Lala. Hey, everybody. Please. Nichia, I hope you can join. I don't know what's happening. I'm just reading comments, you guys. But did you guys watch if you did not watch this week's episode of And Just Like That, there will be spoilers. So let me just say that. We're going to talk about it all. And I'm really excited about it. Okay, Nichia, I think I see you. There you are. Okay, I had to break out the bubbly for this one. My sweater is a little crazy. But the opening, Deb, I agree with you. That's what, oh my goodness. I'm telling you. Okay, let me see if I can add Nichia. Yeah, I cried twice in this episode. Teared up. I mean, it wasn't like tears like Aiden. Hi. I am loving the hair. Okay, I love it. Very cute. I love it. You better be going out tonight after this. You cannot stay home with that hair.
Well, next week, Thursday is my birthday. So this is birthday hair.
I love it. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
It's your birthday. It's your birthday. I love that new little birthday song. It's your birthday.
Too.
It's your birthday.
I know. Hey.
Girl. Oh, my God.
First and foremost, why you didn't tell me about bubbly? I would have had some. I'm over here drinking some iced tea. Because I
was like, you know what? I was like, it's 5 o'clock. It's Friday. It was the season finale.
Right.
Let me break it out.
Right.
Oh, Deb said Sunday is her birthday. Happy birthday. Happy early birthday,
Virgo.
I love it. I love it. Okay, so we got to get into this.
Girl.
I cried twice on this episode. I teared up when I saw Samantha. I thought it was just going to be a phone call, but when I saw her, oh, that was everything. She was giving us all the Samantha energy. Shout out to Kim Cattrall. She delivered, even though I thought it was just a phone call, but to see her, she just went right back into character.
I know. I was shocked and shook it. All Thursday, everybody's posting like little memes and captions from the show, right? So I thought that was like an old, photo of her. I'm like, we're not going to see her. So what's the big deal? So then when I saw it, because I usually watch it the morning we do, like Friday morning. Yeah. And when I saw, I was like, we're going to have so much to talk about. I was
like, I had all the feels.
Me too. I was so floored. And she gave, within that like couple of seconds, gave us so many different like facets of Samantha, the part where she gonna tell it like it is, make sure and then just the funny part of her. I just loved it so much. And I'm so sad.
And it gave us Samantha being Samantha, that good girlfriend who would take a flight from London to fly in for this party and fly right back out.
Girl,
right?
I was like, oh my God, please just come back. I was so sad to see, and I sent it to you.
Yeah.
He don't like the fact Samantha ain't coming back either.
Girl. He has a lot of feelings about this episode. He will be weighing in. Oscar has a lot of feelings. We just gonna, try to woosah. We're gonna give him that Aiden energy of nothing is wrong here. No, the sky is not falling, Carrie. Nope, nothing to see here. Nope, I'm leaving for 6 years, but we're good. Don't worry, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, but
you sent me the article about Kim Cattrall. Talk about that, because she said this is it.
She said, not again, y'all. Don't ask.
Girl, she already said that, and then she showed up, so we ain't buying it. I'll see you in season 3, Kim Cattrall.
She said, don't look for me, because I'm not. Don't ask for me. I'm not coming. He must hear my voice, and he's like, look, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. She said,
no, but tell us what she said in the article. She said that was it, right?
Yeah. So in the article, she was like, basically, I'm not doing this again. This is the hour that you're going to get out of me, and that's it. I am never doing this again. And I'm like, dang, like, did they abuse her on set? Because the way she does not want to deal with any of them. Like,
she came back and did the show.
Oh,
so all that, even if it was over the phone, and she wasn't at first. The talk was, I'll never come back. I'll never be a part of it. I've moved on. And listen, I give people the right to change their minds, because it was to my pleasure that she changed her mind about it. So all I'm saying is, even though she's saying now, I'm not coming back for season 3, boo, I'll see you in season 3. I ain't buying it. I'll see you in season 3, because she might change her mind.
She's not, Jackie. Okay.
You said this the entire first season, Nikia. The entire first season, you were like, she's not coming back. And what do we see on Thursday? Samantha on the show.
It took a minute. It took a minute, but she's not gonna cut. Like, she's okay. If we're looking for her to be a staple on the show, the fourth member it's not happening.
But she could make another cameo, and I'll take that. Let her dip her toe in the water. Warm back up to everybody.
There's some trauma there, girl, and it's deep.
But there's not enough trauma that she couldn't come back for this season finale in season 2. That's all I'm saying. She came back. How do you take the same position from first season and she came back?
Because I still I just feel like that was pulling teeth for her. Like, that was like, and she came back. She came back, but I mean, in a very small cameo. She didn't want to be in the same room with these ladies. It had to be over the phone or sometime. And I am shocked it was her face and not just her voice, like I had anticipated. I was
and it was nice. Girl, we got some comments about Samantha. So Deb says, I think Samantha will definitely be back in season 3. Me too, girl. Mr. Moselle, the wine god, is here. He said it's mainly Sarah Jessica Parker that she can't see. And Patrick, our friend Patrick, says we can get her as recurring phone calls, 6 to 10 episodes. Yes, Patrick, write that. Come on, you right there, write that. I've always read it was all due to SJP. Deb is agreeing with Moselle, the wine god. Y'all follow him. He's great with wine.
I love Patrick always coming through with some additional commentary.
Oh, I know. Wait, Patrick says everybody do something strange for the right amount of change. Okay. And I guarantee they paid her well. I mean, I'd be willing to bet. I can't say I guarantee, but I'd be willing to bet they paid her handsomely. And it was if she doesn't come back, it was the right moment for her to come back to say goodbye to that apartment.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
To say goodbye to Carrie's home. And now she's moving on, closing that chapter and moving on to this fabulous New York Gramercy Park, townhouse.
She bought it, and I like. Did they even like really mention, or was it just kind of like in passing about what's her name? Like not Tessa. What's her name? The girl
Seema?
downstairs. No, the girl downstairs.
The jewelry maker.
Jewelry.
I don't know.
Girl. Did they sit down and say? Did Carrie say like I'm giving you my apartment, or is this just like a conversation that we're supposed to have in our mind as a viewer that happened between the two of them?
Yes, it was a conversation that we missed, that Seema was involved in. Seema was the realtor that got it all buttoned up. She sold her apartment to her for much less than she should have, but it's a done deal. Patrick said her name is Lizette. And he said the look Kim gave at the Lizette. Yes, you're right. The look that Kim gave at the end of the call gave me maybe. Me too, Patrick. Me too.
Now, Patrick.
Yes, we are in agreement. No. That's my Patrick boo. We are in agreement. Yes.
No,
yes.
Patrick. Don't.
No, but it was go ahead.
He know he is just trying to kiss up to you because ain't no way.
No, he stands on his own. It ain't got nothing to do with me. He is opinionated. He is an opinionated person, and he has his opinions. And we just happen to be, Patrick, No, but sure. Okay. So the Samantha thing, like that, I was surprised I got so choked up about it. Like I really did tear up.
I got goosebumps. I'm not gonna lie to you. I did. The whole time I was just thinking, I freaking miss her so much, and you don't realize the impact that. Well, I do realize it, but the impact that she has on this show is so great. Like you said last time we were on here, I absolutely feel like something is missing. I love all the new cast members, but I'm sorry, no one is ever going to compare to Samantha. We've gotten used to her over the years. I miss her in this series. And even that little, bit of commentary that she had with Carrie, she made me go through all the feels. At first I was like, Samantha, then I was laughing, then I was like, don't go, I had all, don't leave me, stay a little more.
No, I felt the same way.
And
it did. Patrick is saying it felt like Sex in the City. It felt like Sex in the City, and it really did. That entire episode felt like I see why they got renewed for season 3, right? It felt like they got it right in season 2. Season 1 was a little like, if you're a fan, you're gonna ride for the ride. But season 2 gave you writing, minus the whole Miranda mess. They gave you writing and everything. But I finally feel like in this episode, like in my notes, I wrote down, they finally got Miranda right.
Right.
Like this is what we needed early on, right? Her working at the UN, being on TV, having a conversation, after that with someone who's on her level. Not to say that Che is not her level. I don't want to say that. But just it's Miranda being a lawyer, being in her element, not being this goofy, I'm trying to find myself, bumbling idiot, following somebody around with no life of her own. Like now we see her as a professional. And I love the moment with Steve. That was the other moment that I really teared up. I was like, they could have given us that episodes ago. We did not have to go through what we went through with Miranda and Steve after the investment we made, right, in this relationship during the series and during the movies. It's like, come on, man. But they got it right. Like, I felt like that's the closure that I needed. Y'all could have done this a long time ago. We didn't have to go through everything we went through with Miranda and break Steve's heart. Let him also be ready to move on. Let them be in agreement. Now he's at that place, right? He's moving on. We see great things happening. I know Steve better stay involved in this show. I want to see him get with somebody else. And just, now that they've given us Steve's body, give us some Steve, with some romance. Like, I want to see Steve until he is in another relationship and happy. Keep it going, season 3. I don't want to see him leave.
And I need to see, now y'all got me invested in his shop or the bar. Coney Island. Keep that same damn energy. You keep writing for this man, because at the end of the day, he deserves to be a staple within this story, because he's been here for so many years. And you're absolutely right. I want to, piggyback off of what you were saying. I am so happy that they finally had Miranda drink a glass of Act Right, because my goodness, it took
girl, she had a mug. It was a mug. Yes, exactly.
Yes. It took too long for her to give Steve the respect that he so rightfully deserves. At the end of the day, no one is saying or taking away from your sexual exploration, but in the same breath, be respectful to the person that has supported you through all your ups, your downs, created a house and home that make you feel comfortable, moved to Brooklyn. And I'm so glad
gave you a
baby that you damn don't want to take care of. But I'm so glad that she gave him all his props. Like, yes, the only thing that you were wrong about is this relationship working, and that's okay. But yes, I love how that was beautifully done. You could see Brady yearns and wishes his parents were together. But you know what my favorite part of that scene is when Miranda suggested or said something about, like, hinting about getting back together, or would we ever? And he was like, hell to the no.
Yes,
I'm good on
exactly.
that. Thank you.
And I don't think she was talking about getting back together. I think she was just saying, I don't want to, like we heard earlier, I don't want to just be done with my exes. I still want them to be a part of my life. And I thought that was a beautiful thing, because a lot of people feel like when relationships end, that's it. And just because, you weren't able to be together romantically doesn't mean that there's not still some compatibility that can work out as friends, right? You started out together in a lot of situations, not all. But I feel like they have a child together. They've been together for so long. There's so much history there. Why not try to get to a place where they can be friends? And I thought that was really beautiful with Steve. And I loved it with Che as well. And I love that Miranda finally had the wherewithal. Like you said, she drank the glass of the big old mug of Act Right and decided, let me put on my big girl drawers and go and make it right. This is all my doing. Let me go. And, and a lot of times, I think there's such a lesson there, because a lot of times we don't realize that really it's on us to be brave enough and get beyond the fear of, let me try to repair this. Let me try to continue something that could be a good friendship. I think that, we put too much weight in, it has to be romantic. Sometimes two good people may not be compatible romantically, but they could be friends, and they could be good friends. I look forward to season 3 and Miranda and Steve continuing to kind of find their footing as friends. Like, I look forward to that. I just needed Steve to be treated right. Don't leave. Don't mess with Steve. Like, he didn't deserve all that. The hearing loss, and he's just, just like he's a loser. I'm sorry. No.
Right. Yes. And I absolutely, like you said, enjoyed, and I piggyback off of that moment with Miranda and Che. And I love Che, like, standing firm on, we were a mess. Like, I don't know where Miranda is still in her la la land in Candy Land. Girl, it was a mess. It was messy.
Hot mess.
And I don't know what part of that you didn't see. I mean, maybe she is so romanticizing her exploration through it all, and it feels good, it looks good, but it ain't good. And us on the outside looking in, and even Che realizing that and saying it to Miranda, it growth. You know what I mean? I love growth.
Yeah. It was great growth.
I love
on Che's part.
Yes.
I do too. I love that. But wait, Patrick is saying, can we be done with Che? I want, like you said, Nikia, I want Che and Miranda to be friends, but not romantically in any kind of way. But I like Che I like her without Miranda. This gives me the room as a viewer to like her. You know, I want to see her, what happens with her career. I love her friendship with Carrie and Jackie and like that whole thing. I want to see her continue to like get back on track with romance.
Right.
You know, we saw in the clothing, you know, scenes, her and this person that came to the vet, you know, that's going somewhere. I want to see that. I want to see what happens with that relationship. I want to see Che date, just not Miranda.
Yeah, and you know what is interesting, because I was seeing some commentary about last episode and how Carrie had, when you talked about Miranda putting on the big girl panties and facing, you know, your exes and facing the music, there was commentary online saying that, oh, well, you know, as Carrie's wrong, as, you know, her friend, Miranda's her friend, if she doesn't feel comfortable in this space. No, I feel like as a friend, I'm enabling you not facing your shit. Like, you do need to be able to come in different spaces, because everybody in the room you may not like, or you have a sordid history with, and you need to be able to face the music, be okay, grow. Like, okay, yeah, we did date, it didn't work out, but you know, Carrie is my friend. Now, you know, the festivities must stop, or I have to uninvite Che or whomever because you and your mess and you didn't handle it appropriately. Like, yes, I do feel that, you know, with the whole thing, a lot of people were saying, oh, Carrie didn't go out and console Miranda, but like, Miranda showed up to a spot at the comedy club uninvited. Like,
yeah,
like
that was just stupid. It was just not smart. You're dealing with a comedian. What did you expect? Yeah.
Yeah. So
no,
I'm happy that Carrie has not allowed Miranda's mess to mess up her friendships with Steve, with Che, with other people, because
oh, I'm glad you said that, because you know what? I had to learn this lesson the hard way. Whenever a girlfriend of mine or a guy friend of mine would fall out with an ex, I would be like, you know what? I don't like them either. But then I had to say to myself, well, whose fault was it really? Right? Why am I mad at somebody? You know what I mean? And then, you know, why am I putting my energy into being mad at them when it wasn't a situation where they did my friend wrong? It was just something that didn't work out.
Right.
Or my friend just was all over the place like Miranda. How are you gonna be mad at Che or Steve when Miranda was the one? I mean, with Che, it was both of them, but it just was not meant to be. But why fall out? Right?
Right.
Che's the one that how Miranda met Che was through Carrie. Why she gonna end that friendship? I'm done ending friendships with people who are, you know, just because my friend ends up breaking up with them.
Right.
I'm done with that.
Yeah, because I mean, through your friend, you know, you develop this, you know, friendship, and you know, here and Steve has been there for years. So to just like, because you want to be done with them now, I got to do too. Like, come on, man.
Just messy. That's one thing I do like about Carrie, how she rolls. You know, she's just Switzerland, right? She just keeps it cool with everybody, and rightfully so. Like, I'm not mad at that. But can we keep talking about Carrie and talk about Aiden? And first, let me say, wait, hold on, wait. Let me take it. I told you so. I told you so. I told you so. You said it. I said it. I knew this was gonna happen. But can we talk about the smoothness of Aiden? Can we talk about now Aiden? No, you want to say no? Aiden playing her. Come on, Aiden is playing her. I was like, he got these Playboy lines. It's gonna be quicker. Did
you hear the snap? You couldn't even hear it. It was so quick. I was like, he out here playing games. He playing games. Let's wait until he gets out of his teenage years. She was like, that was 6 years. He was like, 5, girl. He just got a birthday next week. I was like, Aiden is in player, but he playing games out here. Do you hear it? You hear it? It went so fast you ain't even hear. I was like, oh, Aiden ain't never coming back. He ain't never coming back.
No. Let me tell you
that
something.
was it.
Country Lurch, he practiced them lines, because let me tell you something. The way he had to come back for every damn thing, I'm like,
everything.
Oh no, he practiced that one. He said, I know what she gonna say, so I'm gonna say this. I know what she gonna. He had it cool as a cucumber.
Down. He was like easing her anxiety. Here we go again. He was like, baby,
it's cool.
Ain't nothing. No. I'll be gone for 6 years, maybe 7.
I'm sorry. If Carrie, I'd be so shocked if Carrie stayed committed to that for 5 years, because I personally feel, and once he said that, I'm like, I really feel like Aiden is playing her. Like he is going to flip the script and be like, now that's for you breaking my heart.
He ain't coming back. Wait, hold on. I gotta rescue my dog. He ain't coming back. Girl, he ain't coming back. He is not. Wait a minute. And then Patrick said, and got the cookie before he bounced. I was like, oh, he is playing her. I mean, he was like, oh, she was like, here we go again. No, Carrie.
It's
that's
cool.
not, nothing. There's nothing to see here, boo. Nothing to see. You're wrong. We can make this work. When he said, I don't even think about you. When she said, she was like, you're not even thinking about me. He was like, I won't be thinking about you. I was like, damn. Remember when he said that? And she was like, because he said it so under his breath. I had to go back and watch it. Right. I was like, did he say, I don't need to be thinking about you? I was like, this dude right here is like, these are player lessons.
I mean, she should have saw the writing on the wall, boo. First of all, Wyatt needs to be in some type of juvenile facility.
Yes.
The way this little boy has not only got his hands on some beer, but mushrooms, like the list goes on. Like, what?
And the car keys. Like, how is all this? Like, let's talk about Aiden's ex-wife. And what's happening there?
That's why I had to sip my tea, girl, because
like, can we talk about that? Like, that's what didn't get discussed. I don't trust my co-parent here. I gotta move back home. But what you didn't hear, well, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and trash Kathy up and down the damn street, girl. Said Kathy be bouncing from here to there with her boyfriend, and he emphasized boyfriend, like,
right,
boyfriend. I said, you know what? Now wonder why Wyatt's troubled, because
his mama. Because the mama.
I feel
the mama is a problem. And Aiden don't want to say that, but he's saying that.
Right.
But you know what's interesting to me? Why did he never say, you know what, Carrie, why don't you just move down here with me?
I did find that interesting.
But he said, I don't need to be thinking about you. I could not believe he said those words and they still ended up having sex. Like, how did that even happen? Girl, I would have been, and the co-player move was all this time, right? He couldn't come to that apartment. He
And
showed
then
up like, girl, showed up like the devil. He showed up like, invite me in. You should have a drink. Oh, I didn't bring anything. It was cool. I thought you couldn't come in. I thought you couldn't come in. I thought you couldn't even come in the apartment.
girl,
Now you all up in the crib. Smooth operator.
I'm sitting at the table, comfortable, as my grandfather
Pour
would
yourself
say.
a drink. Right.
Like nothing ever happened. Yeah.
What is it? You gonna fall apart when you walk in here? Or is it like no problem? He is not coming back. He ain't coming back.
No, and because even when she mentioned, how about a visit? He was like, oh no, I need to be laser focused on Wyatt.
He was like, this is Aiden. We threw. It's over. It's over.
Like shots. Hey.
I was like, girl, how are you sleeping with him? Like, he really got inside her head.
And she really believed it. That's what was so wild. She was like, okay,
girl,
not a
no
problem. Let's do the oochie coochie before you go. Because I'll see you in 5 years, baby. What?
And he wasn't even stressed about it. He was laying up there all naked, like just no worries in the world. He was like, yep, this is it. Let's make good of this because I'm not coming back. He wasn't even stressed.
Let me tell you something. That 5 years is not going to help Wyatt. He's
6
on the
years.
path. He's on the pipeline to prison, okay? Because the way...
Not the pipeline to prison. Yes. I mean,
the way he was, oh my God, that child, I don't even think Aiden being there is the solution. Like, for real, that is not gonna help that child. That child is trouble. And it has nothing to do.
Patrick said the player move was, you should have a drink, right? I'm not drinking, but you should have one.
The player move was him showing up to that apartment.
In the apartment.
Walking past that threshold.
Right. Because the whole time, just last week, I can't go there. It'd be so traumatic. Oh, woo, woo, woo. And now he showed up there like, hey, girl.
Hey, baby.
You gonna invite me in? Right. What's up, boo?
Hey, baby.
Right. I was like, but I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming. Mm-hmm. And he got to get back. So he's so worried about his son. How you got time for all that sexcapade? Why you not running back to the airport? How you got time for all that? Because they were just loving and lingering, sitting around talking, chit-chatting. Like, you got time, like,
some after
girl, these
sex
player
care.
moves.
He did
These
the
are
whole after
player
sex care,
moves.
naked and cuddling and telling stories. And I'm like, I thought he was...
Patrick said, girl, gone. Oh my God. Right. Deb said that got me. All of a sudden, Aiden was so comfortable in that apartment. But wait a minute. Let me ask y'all this. Because I have to go back and watch. I should have looked closely. Did they have sex? They didn't have sex in the apartment, though. They had sex in her new place.
Yes, that's what I believe. Because I
didn't see that little dormitory shelf over there, that little dorm room shelf.
Right.
Over there.
They didn't show it. And I hate when they do that, when they like jump time like that, because when he left the next morning, she was in her new place, right? So I don't know if maybe they were bumping in her old place and then it just transitioned
in the
to
cab.
Yeah.
or the Uber, and then they pick, like, I don't know. But yeah, you're right about the time jump. But I think they were in the new place. So that says to me, are you really trying to get back? Like it just, don't act like you can't come in this apartment. It would be so traumatic for you. And now, because you about to, now you gone. Now you can come up in there. Black in the Garden said Carrie was overly accommodating because she was trying to make up for hurting him before. He knew the whole time. He played on it for real. Exactly.
He did.
Because that whole apartment thing, that's a lie. Because he came up in there. That's a whole lie. Lie.
It's all a lie. It's all a lie, guys.
Lie. I mean, it just don't make sense. Like, I couldn't get over that whole situation.
I couldn't either.
And she's just fine. Like, Aiden did a job. Like, she is just fine. He ain't coming back.
He's not.
For
Wrap it up.
Years, 5 years, 6 years. He ain't coming back. And she's like, he done convinced her and physically, like, convinced her mentally and physically that it's all right.
It's all good, baby. It's cool, baby.
Right? No. She's like, here we go. He was like, boo, no, but shut down. We'll be together again. Let him get out of his teen years. She was like, that's 6 years. No, boo, it's 5. His birthday is next week. I'm like, if he don't stop with the player moves, his birthday next week. I was like, if you don't stop now.
I'm not waiting 5 years. I'm sorry. Are you?
Girl, who is? I mean, with that, like, and he's all like, no, I've been thinking about you all these years. Like, this is what I want. What? The best thing to do would have been to say, you know what? My son needs me. We need to take a break. Right. Maybe we can revisit things. We can keep in touch as friends, but we gonna have to take a break. He could have done that. That would have been the thing to do, but he didn't say that.
Because here's the thing that I think he's gonna do, a gotcha. Okay, because is she supposed to be faithful all these 5 years?
That's
and
what
then if
he's setting up. That's why he laid it on her before he left town. He was locking it in.
Because see, what Aiden's gonna do is Carrie's gonna find somebody, and she's gonna start sexing and doing all her things, and then guess what? He's gonna be like, "You cheated on me again. I'm done.
You broke my heart." No, all that is out. And this is, it's like we knew this was coming. We knew it was coming.
The writing was on the wall. I don't even see how Carrie didn't see or acted shocked or even like remotely like heartbroken. At that moment when Wyatt was all busted up in the hospital, I would have been like, this ain't
those tears. He was crying.
Yeah. This is going nowhere
like,
fast.
This is all her fault. This is all her fault.
Yeah, I mean, the writing was on the wall. I would have known once that boy was in the hospital, this is going nowhere fast. I mean, what are we doing here? I would have said, go take care of your baby. Call me when you
can. Boo, go do you. We ain't got to worry about all this. Go and do you. Do your thing. Kids come first in my book, especially young kids. Listen, it is what it is. It ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work right now. Maybe down the road, but no. You go do you. My friend Andrea is like, he's not a player, girl.
Lies.
Andrea, girl.
Girl, Andrea, girl, he player. He playing. He done got some skills we don't know about. Them
in
players,
the bedroom.
The fact that he showed up at that apartment and came inside and was like, girl, get a drink.
And let me tell you something. That Peter must be good with the T. Good.
Exactly.
Because if you ain't seeing what this man is trying to tell you in a very like country lurch type of way,
you are not going to let him live beyond country lurch. Yes. Yes. Yes, exactly.
He finessed, if he's not, he may not be a player, but he damn sure finessed his way out of that conversation.
Oh
And
yeah.
he
Oh my
did it.
God. And out of her turning it into drama. Because we know Carrie, because she was going there with the, if this thing's over again. He's like, no, boo, calm down. That's good. Because Carrie could have been like, get out. No, he stopped all that. He shut all that down. That's cold-blooded. Those are stone cut. Like, write the book, Aiden. Write the book. Write the book.
Look at what Gina says. She has me hollering on the floor.
What did she say? Country Lurch knows how to plow. Andrea said Aiden never had player skills. We haven't seen Aiden in a while. We don't know what's happening with Aiden. That marriage broke up for some reason. I don't know whose fault it was. But how about this? How is Aiden's ex-wife gonna come all the way to New York to sit down with Carrie with a come to Jesus, and her behind is flying all over the place and not even watching her kids to the point that they're not doing shrooms, drinking and driving and crashing and breaking, bones. Like, girl, instead of driving up and worrying about what Carrie gonna do or write about now, how about you get your house in order as a mother?
Because it is out of order. It is out.
Like, when I heard all that in this episode, I was like, how dare she? How dare she? How dare you? Man, I would have gone back just to have lunch with her. And if I was Carrie, to be petty LaBelle, I would drive down, take the train, whatever, to where she is, invite her to lunch and say, now look, I'm crossing my leg. Now look. Look now. I'm concerned about your son because on your watch, he did this, and this. So I'm concerned. You know what I mean? Because, what's going on? Because this is going to hurt Aiden. You look, now you busting up my good thing because you're not a good mother. Like,
let's talk about it.
Dare she come up to New York and have Carrie come to lunch and talk to her about what she gonna do, and she's this kind of mother? Baby, miss me. What? Girl. Like, I need a bonus episode just on that.
Yeah. I thought the same thing, because I was like, we need to have another meeting here, Kathy, because the way you came for me, you flew all the way out. We have to have a come to Jesus moment over coffee. You telling me, don't bring your mess over here. You got mess, boo.
And meanwhile, under your watch, your son driving in the trees, drinking, shrooming, and driving. And you coming up, flying up. How about you take care of your house before you come worry about what I'm doing? That conversation needed to happen.
Kathy don't need to be flying anywhere. Because
anywhere, saying nothing to nobody.
No. But obviously that Wyatt doesn't respect the mama, because the way he ran up out of the house and took the car and drove 100 miles an hour to try to get to daddy's house. Girl. And let me tell you something. I understand kids need parents and all the things, but if you're old enough and thinking you're old enough to be doing shrooms, I mean, nobody even knows how you got it,
Girl, but this is what I'm saying. How you gonna fly out of town to check another woman and her interaction with your ex-husband, the father of your children, because that could trickle down to your kids and hurt your kids, and you don't even got a handle on your kids. Girl, make sense.
Not a handle. And then Aiden was talking about the other two. So, okay, he has 3 kids. So the 20-year-old's probably the baby that we saw when he was, remember the episode? When
yeah.
The baby.
Yeah.
that was probably the 20-year-old, then the 17-year-old. Yeah, that damn Wyatt. I'm thinking some type of reform school. Because you are on the fast track to prison, my friend.
So that's a problem.
He's a problem.
That's a problem. And Aiden needs 24. Say he needs to be in that full time. And if I were Carrie, I'd be like, boo, it's been real, but travel safe.
Love ya. Love ya.
Have fun. Stroking my kitty. I was like, no, she didn't. What? Girl, I was mad at that ex-wife when Aiden was like, I've really been home for them because she's all.
Yeah. Because the way
somebody keeps asking if we talked about Samantha. We did talk about Samantha already.
The way Kathy painted the picture, like she was the perfect
girl.
Mother and an ex-wife,
girl,
the model.
Claire Huxtable.
Yeah,
Claire, she was like, I'm Claire Huxtable. I am the white Claire Huxtable. I got this. I got these kids. Let me tell you what you're not going to do.
Right.
You're not going to come in this little thing that I got perfected and mess it up.
And I'm
meanwhile,
mad because
Wyatt is like, no. Sit down, girl. Sit down.
yes.
Take
And
several seats.
I'm mad as a viewer that, like, I feel duped because here I am, like, rooting for Kathy. Like, yeah, Carrie, don't come in here with your mess. And Kathy is no better. I mean, she might as well.
She's the bigger mess.
Right.
Of the two messes, she's the bigger mess.
Carrie might as well be there. I mean, at least there's some stability because the way Aiden made it sound like Kathy is just nowhere to be found half the damn time.
Okay, I feel like we're being produced. So Patrick said, can we talk about the Wexleys and how we need more story of them next season? Listen, we can talk about LTW and her husband, and I love the love that they have. And I love that they let her have this moment of grief, and wondering, is it my fault? Like, I love this. I do. I agree with Patrick. I do want to see more, but I love that they're not going overboard. Like, one thing I think the writers got right here is that they're giving us the main three, right, of the Sex and the City girls. And they're letting us develop a relationship with the other ladies, with Naya, with Lisa, with Shay. They're letting us develop relationships with them. But I agree. Next season, we do need to, let's go a little bit deeper. And Anthony, too. I don't mean to leave out Anthony, because we loved Anthony since day one. He, to me, is one of the originals. But, well, not the original, but he's part of, he's family from the original cast. Just like Harry.
Right.
You know what I mean? And Steve. You know what I mean? So, I love the Wexleys, and I want to see what happens. But I'm glad that they dealt with that because so many women deal with, with that kind of loss, and particularly at that age. And she's got this career thing, and it's like, I'm not ready to have a baby right now. It would just derail my whole life. But then she, decided that I do want to keep this baby. And then she, had a miscarriage.
Can I really also to delve in the fact that because sometimes I'll go back and rewatch the episode to see if there's something that I missed. And so even like with last episode, I didn't like how when LTW was like overwhelmed with it all and like, how are we gonna have a baby? I don't know, blah 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 blah. Why didn't you get a vasectomy? They tiptoed, and I'm starting to notice this a little bit about TV shows. They tiptoed around saying the word abortion, or just and in our original Sex in the series, they would abortion all day, abortion, like it was not a taboo topic or subject or even a taboo thought that a woman would have. They would put it in the show. It would there was nothing that was off limits, let's just say. And I'm noticing now, and I don't know if that has to do with the climate that we're in, or the Roe versus Wade getting overturned, but that is a legitimate option that women would think about having, especially LTW, her age. You know, she would be definitely a high risk pregnancy. They would more than likely say geriatric pregnancy. So that being on the table, literally, and you know, just like, figuratively and literally being on the table is definitely an option. And I think they did such a disservice not mentioning it and kind of tiptoeing around it. But I do, you know, the whole miscarriage thing, I completely understand. I've had a miscarriage, and there was a moment there that I was like, well, damn, did I wish this baby away? Because when I tell you, when I found out I was pregnant, it was the most devastating news in history. I bawled.
Wow.
It was because girl, you don't want to hear about my situation. But I will say this: who the father would have been, that was not who I wanted to father my child. So I kind of was hoping, because, you know, and it happened, and then I'm like, oh wow, you know, the power of the mind or whatever. So I completely understand and resonated with the thought that LTW had in this episode. You know, you realize, like, yes, you know that it's not the perfect time to have a child, but then you also think to yourself, dang, did I put this in the universe for this outcome to happen? And then you do become riddled with guilt. And that, you know, but I do want to see more. I think that they gave us little dribbles and driblets with LTW's story. I feel like we can get more from them. I love the love that they have for one another. It's so beautiful, and how supportive they are of one another. I just love that.
I do too. I do too. Our producer Patrick was saying that he thinks that rights and standards won't let you say it. Okay, Patrick. I get that, but yeah, that's, you know, it's not an easy thing, and I think that we do see a lot of women in TV stories and movie stories, you know, going to the abortion clinic, doing that thing. So I thought it was interesting for her to not want to have this baby and kind of wrestle with it, and for her husband to say, if you do want to have that, you know, if you do want to have an abortion, even though they didn't say it, someone was saying they like the subtlety of it. But of kind of dancing around, not saying the word abortion. But I do like the fact that this was the storyline, right? That they expressed what a lot of women would feel, like what you were saying, right? Exactly what you were saying. Like, that's real, you know? Because society can bang you over the head with, a child is a blessing. If you're pregnant, you need to have it. I don't care if you're 10 years old. You need to have that baby. You know what I mean? And it's just like, you know, not every situation is like that for every woman that's pregnant. And so I love that they really explored that. And then, like you said, with the miscarriage, I didn't know you went through that. That's just like, I mean, because for you, did you relate to what she was experiencing, and then the guilt and you know what I mean, that she experienced after, like in this episode?
From the moment that the words came out, I'm pregnant, and the whole trajectory of what it came out into this episode, yes. I mean, I remember finding out, because, girl, it was a whole thing, but I remember feeling off for a good month, and I had my cycle for 30 days, and I'm like, something is not right. I'm crying at commercials, my boobies are sensitive, I'm like, it hurts to have a shirt on. I'm like, something is off, right? So in my mind, something just told me, like, okay, go take a pregnancy test. I don't know what, it felt like maybe this is what it is. I didn't know. And so the guy that I was dating at the time, I'm like, hey, can you buy me a pregnancy test? I had just moved into my apartment myself. you know, closer in the city of Chicago. And it was right around of my birthday. And I took the test, and girl, I thought it was a lie. I saw positive, and I asked the guy, I said, where do you get this test from? And he's like, oh, the dollar store. I said, this cheap shit. This is probably why.
They sell pregnancy tests at the dollar store?
Oh, yes, they do. Yes, they do, ma'am. And so I just thought, okay, well, let me go to a real doctor, because this seems like a false positive. Went to the real doctor. He came back, you know, you want to know if you're pregnant? And I'm like, yes. And he was like, you are. I bawled. I was weeping. And I said out loud, I want to get an abortion. I said that to the doctor, just like I was just out of my mind. Just like overwhelmed with the experience. It was not like a very like, my baby's having a baby, you know, type of experience. It was more of like, girl. And so like within that next 2 weeks, the worst pain happened to me, and that's like at home basically when it happened. And I cried. I felt guilty. I felt, you know, like all the things, like, and even now to this day, because I still think about it, I'm like, maybe that was my punishment of why I can't now conceive, or I'm having a problem conceiving, is because I, you know, like all these like mental things. So yeah, it's been, you know, several years since that happened, but still very a moment in time. And so when with LTW, that was the moment I got all the feels on this episode, was because I completely related to her plight and her story with this. Totally understand what she was going through.
Oh my God, Nikia, it's like I know you, but I never knew that. And Oscar's going to chime in, so prepare yourself. He's like, he's with you on this. He's with you on it. Yeah, I mean, thank you for sharing that. But wow, I never knew that. Yeah, it's just like, but that's why I love that they handle things the way that they do, because they tell real story. Like, women can relate to the things that these women are going through. Everything's not about, you know, a 20-year-old and, you know, some teenager coming of age story, you know, which Hollywood seems to really lean into. And that's what I love about this show. It's dealing with real life experience of grown women, you know what I mean? And what we're going through in our life right now. And those are stories that need to be told, you know, what you went through, what they showed. Like, these are the stories that women are, like, you're not the only one that went through this and felt this way, but at the time you probably felt like this is like, you know, so isolated, right?
Yeah.
In that moment. But these are the stories that need to be told too. I'm not against, you know, coming of age stories and stories, but we need to balance it out. There needs to be more shows and more movies that deal with this kind of stuff, because it's life. It's just real life.
Yeah.
It is life, girl.
It's so real. And the moment, there's several moments with this episode. This episode was a really heavy hitter for me, because not only was it LTW's story, but what Chase said in transitioning, like I'm going through that as well, and just trying to, you know, find your footing on what the new chapter looks like. And it's so real. With Che, like, having that struggle. And I love that they put that in there, because normally on, you know, TV shows, they'll be like, oh, this character is a comedian and they're so successful and they're touring and they're doing all the things. Well, it doesn't happen like that all the time. It does not happen where you get the gig, and maybe comedy is not the direction Che needs to go right now, you know. So that was another storyline that I liked, and I liked that Che vocalized that and understood that, look, I'm in a place where I'm trying to figure things out emotionally and just career wise, whatever that looks like on the other side of that. And depression, you know, because I mean, Che dealt with that too. So
yeah, she absolutely. And again, right, mental health, all the things, you know, figuring out your career when you're not 20, you know what I mean? Like those things, it definitely happens to so many people. And I love that they're dealing with that in the way that they are. Girl, you're getting so much love in these comments. People appreciative that you're sharing your story, sharing their stories. You know, Quiet Storm 76 said, thank you, Nikia, for sharing. I had 3. Yeah, and Deb is saying, thank you, Nikia, thank you for sharing your story. I'm sure it wasn't easy. I admire you for that. Quiet Storm 76 also said, for those of us on a pregnancy journey, doctors recommend dollar store pregnancy tests. When you're testing multiple times, it saves money. When it comes back positive, then you buy a different brand. I love learning something new. I did not know that.
Yes.
I did not know
I just
that.
I thought, you know, at the time, and this is the kind of like a little funny moment throughout the situation. At the time when he brought me that dollar store, you know, pregnancy test, I was just thinking in my head, now see, your cheap ass. This is why I don't want to.
See?
This is the reason why.
This is my point.
That's why I want to have no baby with you. You little cheapie. You can't even get the fucking test right.
You can't even get this right. I'm going to have a whole baby. Oh my God. Now see? Oh my God, I know. No, thank you for sharing that. Oh, this is so, this is great.
This
I
is a
love
good finale. This is our good finale. But can we talk?
And then,
go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, go.
I was gonna say, can we talk about Toussaint? But no, I want.
I was so happy. When I put my cards together, the first thing I wrote was Toussaint. This is card number 1, Toussaint. I was so happy that this finally happened. It's like they just finally got it right. I'm so happy for Gary, the actor. But what you talking about Toussaint with BBC? No, not Toussaint with BBC. Toussaint being a chef, the owner of this restaurant. It works well with Naya being the professor who's just, you know, her career is going well. It was just like girl, she was flirting her behind off. She's like, oh, it just exploded in my mouth. You want me to eat this after the black olive? You want to put it in my mouth? I was like, this girl. No, we didn't get your joke. Okay.
I'm sorry,
Patrick. Did y'all get my joke? Toussaint with the BBC? Oh.
Big black cock.
I done told y'all, you know, I work for like a faith-based organization. Now, there'd be church people up in here. Y'all need to clean it up. Clean it up. I'm telling y'all now, look.
That was Patrick. That was just my like light bulb moment. I was like,
I did not get that at all.
You can count on me for the very like seedy jokes, you know, the very horny jokes.
I missed that joke. He said they made it. Now I gotta go back and watch it. I have to watch these shows so many times to like catch some things, and just I end up watching 2 or 3 times. Oh my God. I'm happy that Toussaint is back, that they ended this season with the 2 of them hooking up. And it really, Patrick said, thank you, Nikia. I am hoping that this takes flight so she can move on from this sorry ass ex-husband She can move on with his baby and all that stuff. Like, she can put her feelings into something. But Nikia bothers me that she feels this, I need a man to validate me. Like, she had this announcement, all these things, and like, I don't have a man to share it with. Girl, you got so much love around you. You got so many great friends. You have a great roommate who needs to move out and get her own place, right? Let's talk about that. But it's good to have the company when you're going through something. I get that too. But it's like, I'm excited about Toussaint, finally.
Girl, I am so excited. And here's the thing, because remember on Valentine's Day when Naya made that chocolate, she loves to eat good and eat.
Yes.
And you know, I love a man that can cook. It's another little foreplay. You know, it just it brings.
He's a whole chef.
A whole chef, girl.
Yes, a James Beard award-winning chef. Like, I love it. I'm so excited that we're gonna see him in season 3.
For sure.
Well, I mean, I can't imagine we won't, the way that they ended things. I mean, if all goes well, you know, God willing, you know.
I mean, he came into the apartment.
I can't see why they would not include him in season 3. I hope that they do. I hope that his schedule allows, you know, for him to do it. My only concern is, when are we going to see a season 3 because of this writer's strike? Yes, they have, Andrea, they announced, when was it? The other day, that they will definitely be having a season 3, but with the strike, who knows when the writing and all of those things are going to happen. It could be 2 years from now.
Yeah, it's going to be, a lot of movies are getting pushed back. Yeah. A lot of TV shows have gotten canceled, have gotten the axe. You know, pilot. Aren't we approaching like pilot season or something like that? I don't know, but it's not looking good.
We're approaching one of my favorite times of the year, and that is fall TV. I love, this is like my favorite time of the year, when the new shows come out, when the old shows that I love return on the major network, you know, TV stations. It's like, I'm excited. I love fall TV season. It's why I love fall so much. That and sweaters. It's like, I'm so excited. Oh, Andrea Price said, please do this for Gilded Age. You see Gilded Age is coming back with, why do I want to say Miranda? What's the child's name? Have you seen the show Gilded Age on HBO? Okay, homework. Go and watch the Gilded Age on HBO.
Okay.
So Cynthia Nixon shows you why the depth that this woman has as an actress. Gilded Age is so good. Thank you, Patrick, producer. Yes, Gilded Age is so good. So good. Christine Baranski, you know, from The Good Wife and The Good Fight and all the things.
Wait a minute. Is that the preview that I saw as I was? Okay.
If you watch
that's probably
it, you'll see Cynthia Nixon in it. It's so good.
So you know how I am about period pieces.
Girl,
I'm trying to work on it, but it's hard.
I just girl, it's like
Dre said, "Come on, man." That's my nephew says that to me all the time. Come on, man.
I just hate Black people that limit themselves. It's like,
I'm trying to get past it, but you know, it's so hard
for no reason. It's like for no reason.
It's a good reason. It's a good reason. So I have a hard time digesting pieces that is like really heavily, deeply into patriarchy. Like, gotta ask my man if I can go outside, you know, like, gotta, you know, like, yeah, you know, fuck that man. Like,
but here's the thing I will say about that. if we don't have, because with the way that they're handling education these days, if we don't talk about these things, if we don't talk about the way things were, right, then we can't realize how things haven't changed or how things are going backwards, particularly in this country. And Andrea said that's not the show. It really isn't. You should give this show in particular. I give you homework to watch this show because it really isn't the show.
Okay.
It's really heavily women focused.
Okay.
And women who are really strong women. You should really watch this show.
I'm gonna watch it. You know,
I mean, having a husband and marriage is a big part of it, but it's not like these women are in the back seat. The women drive the show. It's about these women characters. And they have a black woman and a whole black family with Audra McDonald. Like, you have to watch this. It's good. You should watch it.
Everything that you've recommended to me, I've watched. So I will watch it.
Okay.
I mean, I'm good at that. Like, you tell me to watch something, I'm gonna watch it. I will give it a chance. Now, if it starts,
I say give it 3 episodes.
Okay. If it starts giving me the anxiety, kind of like, you know what we talked about. What's the one with the Shonda Rhimes?
Girl, Bridgerton.
Girl, I cannot.
It is such a great show. Oh my God.
I cannot with Bridgerton.
It's so good.
I tried.
So, and the multiculturalism, the diversity in Bridgerton is worth leaning in. And how we not supporting Shonda Rhimes?
I tried. I promise you, I am trying to get into it, but it just basically.
Somebody said Bridgerton is a dud. It is not.
Okay. See, at least Deb is on my side. It's a Virgo thing, I'm thinking, Deb. Hey, Virgos.
Oh my God, conscious cuisine. Hey, chef. She's talking about, nope, I couldn't do it either. Listen, y'all got to get past, y'all can't poo-poo, especially with what's going on in the country. You can't poop it. Like, did you watch 12 Years a Slave, Nikia?
Absolutely not.
See? That is the problem. You give weight to people who say, we don't want to hear about what happened during slavery. I get it. It was a painful time. But see, that's what they're trying to do. Erase what we went through as a people. So those of you, I got another girlfriend who's like, girl, she didn't want to see Driving Miss Daisy. She didn't want to see anything. But it's like, we have to make room for those stories too.
Okay, but so for me,
you can't just erase, because that's what they want. That's what they want. For us not to tell our history, for our history not to be a part of American history. And it is. And so when this content comes out in movies and in series and things like that, we have to embrace it.
Okay, so can I just please hear me out? So I am an empath, like really, really bad.
Right.
Like when I'm watching TV shows and stuff, like I feel that emotion or whatever, and it's so hard for me to watch. Like I didn't watch Emancipation with Will Smith, like even hearing about like what he went through to film this and act in it, it made my stomach churn. Like I literally my chest gets tight. Some of that's like slave stuff. I won't sleep well. I get angry. I'm angry at and I do want those stories to be told, but I feel like the people that need to hear it and see it are not the ones watching it. Those are
no, they are.
know what happened.
They are. That's why 12 Years a Slave was at the Academy Awards. That's why, you know what I mean? They do. We have to keep making this content. But I hear you. I mean, I do hear you. But it's just like, it's unfortunate. But because they're trying to erase what happened to us and our experience, we have to give it to people in different ways. If they're not going to be teaching these kids, then Hollywood has to bring that history forth. And we have to kind of, you know, maybe you don't have to watch it, but definitely support it and say, you know, you need to, I can't watch this, but we need this. It's important to have this work out there. As much as I would love for us not to have to keep telling those stories, we're just not there.
No.
We're just not there. We are just not there. Wait, somebody said something. Oh, Lala Brown 41 wants to know, did you finish Sweet Magnolias?
Absolutely.
Wasn't
and
it so good?
So here's the thing. I was waiting. So for me, I was kind of sad because it seems like there's not going to be another season.
Oh, I don't know if that's the case.
Just the way that they finalized everything, it felt very like season or series finale. Like it was giving very much done. Not everybody's problems was fixed, and you know, Cal got his mind right, and Bill went girl Bill was I just cannot. But I love the ending episode, and you know, Dana Sue renewing her vows. But I just felt like, for me, I'm like, is this show like? Was this it for this show? It just felt
so
because
I haven't read that anywhere. But I don't know. Wait, I'm Googling now.
Because the only reason why I say that is like the end of season 1. I always can tell when it's a like season finale, because they're gonna give you all the drama. This last one was very like happy bow, everything's all good now. Like there was no cliffhanger, no drama to make us be like, ooh, I wonder what's gonna happen here. Kind of like Virgin River, when the Miss Hobag dropped the bomb talking about these ain't your babies.
Girl, Charmaine, girl, we are weeks away from the new season of, I'm sorry, I'm looking up Sweet Magnolias. We are weeks away. So it hasn't been renewed yet, Sweet Magnolias, for season 4, but we don't know. It has not been canceled.
So because I looked too, and I was like, okay, it
hasn't been canceled.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's still a chance. So good. But Virgin River, girl, we are weeks away. We are weeks away. So good. I know, right?
I'm excited.
We are weeks away. I'm trying to think. Did we talk about everything?
No, we did not talk about Charlotte.
I love that she is having this moment. We were excited about a storyline for her that made sense, and I love the speech that she gave to her husband about all that she's done to manage this household and this family. And she's like, you haven't even scratched the surface. And I love that moment for her.
Yeah. Well, here's what I have realized now with us, you know, finishing season 2 and even going from season 1. We were super worried about Charlotte's storyline, but I love the way that they built it up. In the first the first season, she was all mommy, 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 and that was her only identity. And then she said, I'm sick of y'all. Yeah. And by this season, in season 2, she's starting to be the Charlotte that we know. She's getting her mojo back. And I love the way that they built that up.
I
for
do
us
too.
As a viewer to feel like, God, Charlotte, go to work. We were even feeling it. So the fact that it was very valid, that like the character development was beautiful. I was worried that they were going to just make her this, you know, waif of a mom, just at home all the time. But I love how within these past 2 episodes, even the third, once she realized, like, look, I want to go back to work. I'm good at this. This is what I love to do. And I'm not dealing with y'all's crazy shit anymore. And Harry, I don't want to hear it. Deal with these kids. And so I love that, because I do wonder and believe that like some women kind of lose their self when they become a mom, especially if you're a very involved mom like Charlotte is and was. And after a while that can get I don't want to say depressing, but kind of depressing. I'm actually seeing that unfold. If you do, you watch the Upshaws on Netflix?
No.
I love that show. Such a good show. Such a wholesome show.
That's the one with Kim Fields, right? Who
Kim
I
Fields.
love.
Yeah,
Mike
and Mike
Epps.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I gotta watch that. My sister keeps telling me about it. I may dig into that tonight.
Really good wholesome show. One of those like shows that you can kind of just watch and, you know, passively, but also I love the messaging. She was, you know, she left the kids and was like, husband, you deal with them, because I need some time for me and find out who I am and get back to me. And I love it. And so I love that Charlotte went on that journey. And I wrote it down here. I love that she's putting herself first, because she has been selfless all this time. And there's nothing wrong with being a little selfish.
Yeah, agreed. So agree. So agree.
Mm-hmm.
And
Seema. We didn't talk about Seema either.
Oh, we didn't talk about Seema. Seema was getting on my nerves. But you know what I had to say? Seema, there are a lot of women who deal with that, who deal with, you know, you want to present as this strong woman, but that's a front, right? For your insecurity, right? Your fear. It's like you could just see her fear within this relationship because of her feelings and not wanting to get hurt. And so I'm glad that they dealt with, even though she was getting on my nerves, I'm glad they showed that, because that's real for a lot of women.
I mean, I told you that's what our last discussion that we had. I did tell you, and we discussed that was probably what she was going through, just this fear, this unknown feeling. Sometimes when you have these thoughts and feelings that are unknown to you, they're new, it's a new territory, you're not going to act accordingly, especially if you feel like you are putting yourself out there and this person's going to hurt you, or you like you said, insecurities, you're not feeling secure enough within yourself that you're worthy of love, of healthy love, of unconditional love. So I've been there, and that type of mentality is not just about age. It's about just, I mean, relationships can be very traumatic, and going through breakups or never having one, a real relationship. Sometimes you don't recognize real all the time. You know what I mean? Like, you know, sometimes you think the person's playing you, and you're playing yourself. You're self-sabotaging because you're not healed.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not healed.
Nikia with a word.
Hey.
Exactly. Because you ain't, because you're not healed. And so maybe take the time to get healed. Andrea says she loves Seema. She's taking some getting used to for me. I loved her in this episode. I really was able to see, I got some clarity on who she is. And I love that they ended the episode with she and Carrie going to Greece for a fabulous vacation on the beach. You know what I mean? To just enjoy life. It's like, come on. You know, you don't have to be all sad and because things are happening or not happening with these men in your lives. Y'all both got money. Go to Greece. Have a good time. Live your life.
I do want to ask you something that I thought was a great question that Carrie posed at the dinner table. Something you want to let go of. One word.
Ooh, what do I want to let go of? Gosh, I have to think about that. Fear. I want to let go of fear. I feel like fear, imposter syndrome, all those things just get, and we've talked about this, just get in my way. Fear, I want to be fearless, just fearless, and just live my life. And I'm close, right? I'm close, but I'm not there completely. And I thought that was a great question. I'm not there completely, but I'm getting there. But I want to be completely fearless because it's so funny. And this is gonna sound crazy, but I'm a big fan of The Walking Dead, and I often think of if we were in an apocalypse, what would the things that I worry about now, would I be so worried about in those moments? And clearly you would not. And so it's like, just living your life like today is the last day and just being fearless. Like I would let go of fear. That's the biggest hindrance in my life. What about you? What's your one thing you would let go of?
Wait.
What?
Get it out of here. Get it out. Happily let it go. No, but on a real note, I would say distrust. I tend to, and I'm actually working on that in therapy. I tend to just have I have trust issues with people, just general, like people. I don't trust people. I don't know. And so I'm working on that, definitely trying to let go of that in therapy and find my footing, because it is really controlling a lot of my interactions that I have with people, and not letting things flow. So trust or distrust in people. But I do want to say, I know this is our last live, but for this season.
Because next year I'll be in Chicago if this happens. Summer, I don't know what's gonna happen though, so I take that back. I don't know.
But I do want to say I always thoroughly enjoy my Fridays now, because it's just a great release. And I hope that even just for the sake of, getting the Debs and the Patricks and me and you together.
And the Dreas and the Ginas and
if we, maybe find a show that we want to do this on. I know And Just Like That is a big one, but like people just love our reviews. And so, I would be open to it if you are. So that's
Andrea said, "You ladies are awesome." Deb said, "I enjoy these IG lives every week. Thank you for doing them." Aw. We have a good time doing it. I mean, it's just like the way we came together just to connect in life is such an incredible story within itself. It's just like the fact that we are here doing this together is just an amazing story. And we talked about it a few times, but it's just so crazy that we just didn't even know each other, but we just had this instant connection when we met.
And you know what's so beautiful about it too, to double down on that, is the fact that you would think the way that me and you connect and talk, you would think that we've been friends for like 20 years, girl.
Forever.
I mean,
like we met and it was just like, it's crazy, right?
It's so crazy to me. Like you are the only person that I could do a live with, and I feel like I'm just FaceTiming you and we just talking and doing our
thing.
I love it.
Yeah. I agree. Oh, Phoenix Rising said, "I've been a Jacque Reid fan since way back at BET News." Oh, okay. Old school. Lala Brown 41 says, "Yes, please review another show or come on and tell us what we need to watch." You know what though, Nikia? Let me ask you this. Drea, yes, you were finally able to catch one and participate. Yeah, Andrea is a really good friend of mine, so I'm glad she was finally able to be here. Oh, and Debbie says, in the beginning, I thought you were friends for many years. Oh, yeah, we met and it was like an instant connection. It was crazy. It's like a whole thing.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? Girl, my mind. I
You
was
said
going
you
to
were
say
going to ask me
something.
something. What were you going to ask me?
You're fine. I don't know.
Oh,
Go on.
so I do want to tell you some shows that I have been watching. So you guys
Oh,
have.
tell me what. Oh, no, I remember. It's back. It's back. With the strike, how are we as journalists, right? How are we supposed to, like, is it wrong for us to promote? Because a lot of people have been talking about you should, unsubscribe to these, platforms. And how are we, like, are we supposed to be talking about shows if we're supporting the strike? Like, how do we, you know what I mean?
Girl,
What are we supposed to be doing? Because they're not doing interviews. They're not like NBJ. No actors showed up. They canceled because of the strike. They're not supposed to be doing podcasts and all the things. So are we working against them? You know what I'm saying? Because they're not out doing interviews themselves.
I've thought about that. Now I've gotten some interview requests for like costume designers and hair and makeup and stuff like that. And I've gone and I've researched, and like the lines are so blurred when it comes to journalists, because like this is our job, right? Like entertainment, commentary or new or whatever. And so yeah, it's such a blurred line, because I don't want to, like, what do they say? Not pass the picket, but go cross the picket line.
It's like you don't want to be, for us, because of what we do, it's like there are even guidelines for influencers and those of us that are on social media about what we're supposed to do. So it's I've been thinking about that. I was like, I want to get through this, but it's like I haven't been posting about shows and things like that, just because both of us, we watch so many things, but I've been really careful about that because I'm not sure. Like so many of our friends, right, people that we love and support are in this business and hurting. I mean, did you read about Billy Porter losing his house?
Yes, I did read about that. I continue to see there was also a former Nickelodeon star. She was in tears and saying how she's financially strapped, and how people think that child stars are loaded, and that's not always the case. And it's hard right now for a lot of people that are in the film and TV industry. I have a friend that's a location scout, and he is just like, it is so hard right now financially for him and family. So I've looked, I've researched, and I'm like, I don't know. Like,
I know I'm torn about it. But Andrea was just saying, if you all don't talk about it, will they get another season? With all the shows, I mean, I don't know, but I do want to give a shout out to my girl who I love, Amanda Seales, who independently created a documentary about, wait, I want to pull it up because I love this woman so much. She is such an inspiration because she is somebody who, to me, is called Seales and Amanda We Trust. She is on Patreon right now. Go to her Patreon page, Amanda Seales, Seales. It is not that expensive. I think it's like $15 to get it and watch it. She created this independently. She's putting it out there independently. This is the kind of stuff that we really have to support. And I love this woman so much. She is such a beautiful spirit, and she is an activist. You know what I mean? She's an activist. So go and check it out and, support her. I would say if you're torn about what we're talking about, It's called In Amanda We Trust. There's a trailer on YouTube, In Amanda We Trust. Go and check that out. Support this sister. Like I said, it's $15 to get this, and you definitely need to support her because she's talking about what's going on in this country. She's a stand-up comedian and an actress. She was on Insecure, for those of you who, you know, may not recognize the name, but she's amazing. Smart, funny, and black. She does that whole thing. She's incredible. And these are the things that we definitely have to support because, yeah, it's tough out here. So that's what I want to do the right thing. I really want to do the right thing by these actors and just try to, you know, figure it out.
Yeah. I mean, we can, you know,
I had
talk
to throw
about
that out there because Amanda's my girl.
Yeah, I love Amanda Seales. Actually, my little sister, who's, you know, 19, she's like, have you heard of Amanda Seales? And, you know, because my sister is the activist. I mean, she knows her history.
Yeah.
She's in it. And I was like, yeah, I know, I love Amanda Seales. Like, I always find her funny. I'm always agreeing with her, you know, opinions about certain things. And I love that she is very outspoken. She's very secure in her thoughts, and she's just great. So I'm wishing her so much success. And I hate that a lot of people that are doing independent projects, this is the absolute worst time for, you know, for them, what we're going through with the strikes. I know I have a friend that's a location scout on, you know, some of these TV shows, and he's putting out a small short film called Scroll Food, and I love him to death, and I'm like kind of nervous, like, how do I promote this? Like, what can I do to support it? So he currently, his name is Dave Leonard, but he is currently asking for donations to, you know, get this short film funded even more. I don't know if he's looking for funding to get it in theaters, but you know, creatives need funding. I need funding. You know, like, it's like, we need funding.
Keep it real. Keep it real. I don't keep it real, girl. Listen, we appreciate you guys for going on this ride with us for this season. We'll be back next season. We'll figure out whether we'll do some other shows, but I'm loving the birthday hair. You look amazing. Happy birthday. Enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. I love the hair. And thank you guys. I mean, you know, I love like connecting with you guys and reading the comments. It's like, you know, it's just like a little family that we have here. And thank you guys for, you know, just appreciating the effort that we put in for this, because we enjoy it and we're glad you enjoy it too, because we just want to have some fun on a Friday.
Yes, absolutely. And I did send you and text you. I got to get all my stuff in on this live about I figured out a new way to stream, so maybe if we can maybe explore that or test that for next time, so that you know, when this video gets downloaded, I hate that it gets so out of sync, and so this way maybe I can stream on Instagram and YouTube, and then that could just...
Girl, you're the tech expert. Just tell me what to do. I can't. I don't know. Fine. Yep. Good. Yep. That works.
And thank you for my birthday wishes. 8/31.
And thank you, Deb Riccio, for the shout out. She gave me such love. I met her face to face a while ago, and she's just such a good spirit. She's good people. Really good people.
That's good. I love good people. She's a Virgo, so duh.
Great people. All right, girl. I'll talk to you later. Bye, you guys.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye, you guys.